Hello there App Spy viewers, my name's Peter and I've got a hands-on video for you. This time it is with DomiNations. This is coming out of Big Huge Games and also Nexon M, and as you might be able to tell already, it's a strategy management game. What do I mean by that? Boom Beach, Clash of Clans, Tiny Realms, what else? All sorts of games like that. You know what we're talking about here. Strategy management. And so you have your home base, this is mine, and I'm going to tap to collect my resources. Now you might have noticed that I grabbed resources from all of these bits of road. So if I have lots of different buildings connected up to my road, then I actually get more income. So that's kind of useful. And I can tap these. These are travelling salespeople. They also give me gold, and then there is my gold mine. I'm going to tap on that. It takes 2 of my 8 population to mine this gold mine, and but for free I can grab these, you know, without having to use any of my villagers or anything like that. I can harvest my farms, and I can also grab food from my fruit tree if I so desire. So you notice that I've got 6 now, 6 of my villagers left. So what can I do? Well, I can go and grab a deer if I want, or I could go and hunt for a boar. Let's go hunting for a boar, shall we? It won't be a boar hunting for a boar. So that's how I grab my resources. You also notice that I've got my barracks, as per usual with these kinds of games, and they host my troops. But there's also a mercenary camp, and you can hire mercenaries, you can recruit them, and to do so you'll need to use goods. Now you get these goods through lots of different ways, you know, winning battles against other people in multiplayer. You kind of plunder loot from them. You might also grab some when you uncover more of the map. As you can see, there's bits of forest here. I can clear the way if I really want to. I don't really want to at the moment. There's a thing down here. This is just for the this thing here is for the leagues, which I'm not a part of yet, because battling is not a huge part of what I'm into with these games, although I have been quite enjoying the battles in this. And there's also an alliance gate, which I'm not able to do because I need to progress through the ages. What do you mean by ages, Peter? For goodness sake, what do you mean? So ages. So I can now upgrade from the Bronze Age to the Iron Age, and that's going to cost me 16,000 gold, and it's going to take 4 of my villagers. So I'm going to tap on that one, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. And now I get to choose my nation. I can either be Chinese, British, French, German, Greek, Japanese, or Roman. And each of these different nations gives me access to a different bonus. So, for example, if I went with the Japanese, then I get mighty defenses. If I go with the Greeks, then I get better architecture. If I go with the Germans, it reduces the cooldown on rally and increases the duration of rally. That's essentially a sort of special tactic that you can use in battles. The French, it takes less time to train an army. With the Brits, increases the loot stolen during attacks. Typical British, the horrible people, I suppose, sort of, yes, less said about that. And the Chinese increases the number of citizens +1, grants bonus defenders at the town centre per age. So we get an extra citizen and extra defenders. So who do I want to go with? Let's have a quick look. I think maybe... town centre shoots at invaders, increases the length of peace treaties. That sounds pretty good, actually. Increases my army size. Ooh, this is a big decision for me now. I've actually been playing for about 4 or 5 hours, maybe even longer than that. Spent over the course of the last few days. I think I'm going to go with the Japanese. I think we're going to select this nation. Are you sure? Yes, yes, absolutely. Recognition of your civilization's growing power, neighbouring tribes and emissaries bearing tribute. So every once in a while you'll get these coming along, and you'll get some cool stuff as well, and you can grab hold of gold and resources and all of that other good stuff. So I'm selecting my nation as I'm going. I'm into my Bronze Age now, and that's going to take another 13 hours and 58 minutes. So I can speed it up with crowns. That's the premium currency. What I'm loving from this management part of DomiNations is that it feels a lot closer to let's say a more traditional strategy game, something like a Civilization or a Rise of Nations. And that's funny because Civilization and Rise of Nations are 2 games that one of the lead designers on this project actually was involved with. There's a bit more strategy here. There's a bit more feeling of, what should I be doing? Should I be going down certain paths in terms of the growth of my nation? You also have noticed here, I've got my hanging gardens. This actually gives me, if I tap info, this actually gives me a better chance, more sort of resources while I gather them, and also a quicker regeneration time. So that means that when I harvest these fruit trees, it actually takes less time for that fruit to regenerate, and I can harvest them more often. So I'm never going to be lacking for those kinds of resources. You also have your defensive buildings, of course, and you've got your walls in there, and that's all upgradable. That's your typical strategy management stuff. On top of that, there are peace treaties. You can just stop being attacked. Basically, there are all sorts of goals and achievements to go ahead and get. And there is also a lovely edit mode, which allows you to pick up all of the items on your thing, and then you can just lay them out in exactly the way that you would want to lay them out. So it just means that you can have them set up really quickly in the way that you would want. But I'm at the moment I'm sort of okay with how this is set up, even though it does look a little bit higgledy-piggledy. I've already trained all of my units, so let's go into a battle and show you some of that. There's multiplayer, obviously, because part of this is PvP. Part of the big appeal of these things is PvP. I'm doing okay with it. I'm not really dabbling with it that much. There's also single player, in which you go through different campaigns. And I guess I'll show you some of the single player. You know what to expect with the multiplayer. So here's the single player. This is the first bit of the Fertile Crescent. And I've pretty much done everything with the exception of I've got 3 out of 5 stars on let's go with something a little bit easy just for the purposes of this video. You'll see, of course, here that wait a sec, those are machine guns. So as you're moving through your ages, this is going to be a really easy battle. As you're moving through the ages, your troops actually upgrade. Your troops, your buildings, all of your, all of these additional elements, they actually upgrade. So eventually you will, you won't be fighting with warriors, you'll be fighting with soldiers who have rifles. You'll be fighting, with lots of different types of advanced unit. So it's a little bit like advancing an age in Civilization or something along those lines. You're also rated out of 5 stars for the battles. If you get, quick destruction or complete destruction, or destroy a certain amount, then you get certain badges in there. I think 1 star is simply, a victory. That classes of it as a victory. I didn't get any loot that time simply because I've already completed this stage. But you'll have noticed there that it is very similar to previous games in the genre. There's not a huge amount of strategy involved, but there is a little bit. So I'm going to, I'm going to put like maybe half of my people in here. They're going to attack that. They've just detonated a spike trap, which is a bit of a problem. And then my other half of my army is going to come over here. They kind of just go for, oh no, they're not going to come over here. There we go. They kind of go to the targets that they are most effective against first. That's, but there's also mercenary units. As you saw earlier, I can place them in. They're going to get involved as well. So I've placed in my mercenary units. And there are different units as well. So my mercenaries are actually, they're archers. You can get archers, horseback riders, all sorts of stuff like that in your regular army as well. So I'm really quite impressed with DomiNations. It is currently in soft launch. It is in New Zealand, if you're interested in going and grabbing it. And it just adds that extra layer of strategy to this element that really does affect the elements of battle. It makes you more invested in the civilization that you are creating. And I think that that's a really, really important thing. Here they come. They're returning from battle. I think that that's a really important thing in these kinds of games, and it certainly makes you feel like the decisions you're making, which nations you go with, which wonders you build. I've got the Hanging Gardens. I could have gone with something else that increases my area in battle, for example, increases my chances in battle. But I didn't. I went with something that improves myself at home. It makes those decisions really important, and it feels like your approach to the game is going to be very different to your friends. So like I say, this is DomiNations. It is in soft launch at the moment, and I'm really thinking that this could well be your next strategy management game. It is really fun. It adds some really excellent extra depth to the formula that's already been well established by other games. And the battle stuff is pretty fun as well. It's decent. The battle stuff isn't going to change your life, but this extra sort of management stuff, this is. So there we are, DomiNations. Let me know what you think of it in the comments. This video was brought to you by AppSpy in association with Trivia Crack. If you'd like to enter our Trivia Crack competition to win iTunes vouchers, copies of the game and more, click the link in the description below. Thanks for watching, best of luck.